I'm just gonna say it, a lot of you are not ready for this conversation because the way people are defending NewJeans right now, it's not even based on logic anymore. It's just emotion. And if we're being real, I don't think they're as innocent as people are making them out to be. Hey guys, welcome back. This is probably the most controversial video I've made in a while. But honestly, it needs to be said, because right now, the entire conversation around NewJeans feels one-sided. It's either they're victims, or they did nothing wrong. And I'm sitting here like, are we looking at the same situation? Before anyone twists my words, no, I don't hate them. No, I'm not saying the company is innocent. What I am saying is simple. You cannot remove NewJeans from the situation completely and still have an honest discussion. That doesn't make sense. Let's start here. People keep acting like everything just magically escalated on its own, like it went from zero to chaos overnight and they had nothing to do with it. No. At this level, nothing goes public by accident. We're talking about one of the biggest groups right now, with a massive company behind them. Statements, appearances, reactions, all of that is controlled to some extent. So if things became public, messy, and explosive, then someone allowed that to happen, and you cannot convince me they had zero awareness of that. This is where I think fans are being unrealistic. There's this narrative that idols are completely powerless, but that's not entirely true, especially not at their level. NewJeans are not rookies struggling to be heard. They are global. They have influence. They have leverage. And with that comes responsibility, whether people like it or not. Here's the part nobody wants to talk about. Once something goes public, you lose control of it. It becomes headlines. It becomes fan wars. It becomes a narrative. And from what we've seen, this situation didn't stay behind closed doors. So the question is, Kalan, why did it get to that point? Because once it did, everything spiraled. Now let's talk about the fandom response, because this is where things get even worse. People are overcorrecting so hard that they've gone from, let's support them, to, they can literally do no wrong, and that's dangerous. Because when you remove all accountability, you're not protecting someone, you're just ignoring reality. Here's a concept that seems really hard for people to accept. More than one side can be wrong. The company can mishandle things, management can make bad decisions, and NewJeans can also make choices that contribute to the situation. These things can all exist at the same time. It's not a movie. There isn't just one villain. I think a lot of this comes from the image people have of them. They're seen as fresh, untouchable, almost perfect. So when something messy happens, people reject the idea that they could be involved in it at all. But reality doesn't work like that. Public image is one thing. Real-life decisions are another. If I'm being honest, I think this situation could have gone very differently if things were handled more privately, if certain actions weren't taken, if the situation didn't escalate publicly. We probably wouldn't be here right now. And again, let me be very clear, Kalan. I am not saying they deserve hate. I am not saying everything is their fault, but I am also not going to pretend they had zero role in this, because that's just not realistic. At the end of the day, this situation is messy because everyone involved contributed to it in some way. And until people are willing to admit that, we're just going to keep having biased conversations instead of honest ones. So yeah, that's my take. I already know this is going to split opinions. So let's talk about it. Do you think NewJeans had a role in this? Or do you think they're completely innocent? Comment below. Just don't turn it into a war, and I'll see you in the next one.